Believe it or not, by the way, Rachel Zegler is back in the news.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Speaking of overacting.
Yeah. Not on, is that what we're calling that? Overacting?
I don't know. She's terrible.
She's back in the news because one, Glamour named her Woman of the Year, which that's fine.
Yeah, but have they never seen Sydney Sweeney?
She's a woman, that she is. Rachel Zegler defends Snow White by pointing out it hit #1 on streaming on Disney Plus. Yes. This
okay. Who edited this article?
Marvin did.
Oh, because that should say Disney minus.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going for accuracy here at that parkplace.com and also Geeks and Gamers.
But that Disney minus is accurate. There's never been less on there to watch.
I'm going to point out here that Disney Plus is not the award that we're going for here for #1 on any platform. When Rachel Zegler reflects on Snow White, she really wants audiences to believe the film was a success on streaming. It wasn't, though. In a new Glamour interview, the actress leaned on one talking point in particular, that the movie hit the top spot on Disney Plus. I love that film. I've seen it a few times. It was #1 on streaming on Disney Plus, so I know that it's celebrated. She said she had to watch it several times. She had to film it several times.
Well, at least 3 that we know of.
Yes.
Probably more.
Yes. The soft communist message of the original was watered down so much so that Greta Gerwig, and I'm not saying it's the communist reason, but I do know Greta Gerwig, who wrote the Barbie movie, was the original screenwriter on this thing.
Pulled her name so fast.
Yes, she did. This is a movie that was years in the making, and not on purpose. It's not like Lord of the Rings where they took 5 to 7 years to film that thing because they were creating a giant fantasy epic of 3 films. In trying to adapt one of the most beloved works ever created in fiction in a faithful and beloved way. No, they were doing a Disney Plus. Well, sorry, I should restate this. They were doing a live action remake of the greatest Disney film of all time when you go by the numbers here. And somehow, even though they had the entire blueprint there, they said, you know what? We're going to make this better.
Oh, I thought you were going to say somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
It was awful. The idea to get away from a shot-for-shot remake was a bad plan. And having her talk about the film at any point in time over the 3 years that they were shooting it was also a bad plan. And having her come out and make it very political by inserting a Middle East confrontation into the conversation. I mean, this was the worst person to be involved in this project, and they didn't know until, they watched West Side Story. I don't know. It was just, she's not a movie star. She doesn't pull numbers, and she destroyed this film.
Right. I agree. Of course, that statement quickly set off alarms among data-focused viewers because in today's entertainment landscape, platform-only victories don't tell the full story, and they certainly don't rewrite a film's reception. Let's talk about Nielsen. Do we have it here? Here's how Snow White performed. Hit #5 on streaming movies June 9th to 15th. Fell to #6 the following week. Gone from the chart after 2 weeks. Never entered the overall top 10 streaming charts. So to explain how this works, here's a couple of things. First of all, Bluey, without checking the data, I'm fine in saying that Bluey is the #1 show on Disney Plus. When we hear about what's going on Disney Plus, I think it's 1/3 of all streaming is Bluey, pretty much every single time. Then, if we're being approximate, another third is the catalog titles that just happen to be there, and then the other third is movies and originals. So it's really not much of the platform itself that is originals on Disney Plus. So Snow White, which was not a hit at the box office, this $400 million movie gets put into the movies section, which is already kind of the also ran of streaming. It's not the top chart. It is a secondary chart. And then it doesn't hit #1 there. So here's what I think happened. I think it went to Disney's #1 trending on Disney Plus, which is an internal metric. And Disney gets to fudge those numbers any way that they want, and they eliminate Bluey from that metric altogether. Culture, is that something that you think is possible?
I think it's the probable thing.
They say $300 million budget for a fraction of the return. The reason I say 400 million is they definitely marketed this one.
It's way more than that. They shot the film in full at least 3 times, not just with reshoots, like full, like we're going to shoot the majority of principal photography again. You can't do that for as little as what you're describing. 300 million is not even close. In fact, we won't really know what this cost, Jonas, until Caroline Reed gets her hands on the paperwork, or if we do before that from the UK House of, what's that called?
The Company's House, yeah.
The Company's House, yeah. So, and look, once we have those numbers, we'll be able to throw them back in Disney's face, just like we did recently, or Caroline specifically did recently, with Star Wars, and somehow Palpatine destroyed all profits. So there you
go. And looking at this right here, I think about the number of things that could be done in the world, like this message about representation or appealing to little girls or whatever. That maybe that's the case, whatever. But think about the good that you could do in the world with $300 to $400 million. Like if you just gave that to a charity or a Give Kids the World or and put it towards obscure medical research that is
for Scott Adams, or you could build 1/3 of a Star Wars hotel,
right? Or if you literally wanted to build the castle from Snow White instead of doing it in CGI, I think you could do 300 to 400 million. And probably come out with something that could live for the rest of time, or for the rest of foreseeable existence, that could have a positive impact on the world. But instead, they put it on a movie that they have to lie a little bit, allegedly, and say that it's #1 on Disney Plus. I think that this is a bunch of obfuscation. Yeah.
Yeah, and Whiplash in the chat is correct. I mean, it's a story that I presented to the public about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, that Disney Minus actually, by default, has the Nielsen ratings built in to it. So you have to actually go into settings in an obscure place to find the ability to turn off the Nielsen ratings reporting that information. So if anybody's accurate, it's the Disney Minus numbers are.
Well, if we're going by Nielsen's numbers, not by Disney's internal numbers, because they've shown that there will, if Bluey is not in the top 3 spots, then those numbers are fake.
Yep.
Which
is weird, but true.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.